Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Diana, and on this channel we talk about personal finance and money related matters. If these are topics that interest you, please consider subscribing. So question of the day, would you like to retire early before age 65 and never have to worry about going to a job that you don't like day in and day out? You might be thinking that sounds like a really good idea, right? But how is it possible? Well, there is a movement out there called the FIRE movement, which actually allows people to retire early before age 65. So FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Now, I know that most people would love to retire early. So there's this 40-40 rule that says that most people for their lifetime will work for 40 hours for 40 years, only to live off of 40% of their income. So if you're trying to break that cycle, then you can certainly consider the FIRE movement. Now, the FIRE movement causes you to reevaluate your relationship with money, your habits, for the sole purpose of retiring early and being financially free. The FIRE movement focuses on prioritizing saving your money and investing about 50% of your money. So in a nutshell, you have to live a frugal life to aggressively save towards retirement. Now, frugality or being frugal does not necessarily mean that you are cheap. It simply means that you are intentional about the things that you're spending your money on. It also means that you're resourceful with the things that you already have. It means that you're avoiding wastage, and it means that you're avoiding overspending. FIRE is going to require self-discipline and contentment. If you know you want to retire early, then you're going to have to give up certain things now so that you can enjoy early in the future. So in essence, you have to practice the art of saying no. You have to avoid impulse spending. You have to avoid living a lavish lifestyle. And finally, you have to avoid comparing yourself to others, because what you'll realize is that not everyone has the same financial goal as you. Some people prefer to live in the now. They prefer to live in the moment. And that's why a lot of people spend anyhow. They spend lavishly. But if you know you're someone that would like to retire early, then you have to be intentional about spending and investing your money. So someone who is set on a FIRE journey, they have their financial goals in mind. They would rather enjoy time, the freedom of time, than to rather trade their time for money. And the first step to actually start the FIRE journey is to have a budget. You want to be able to evaluate your wants and your needs so that any little excess cash would be put towards investing. Also, you want to try to eliminate all consumer debt, because the more debt you have, the more you're taken away from your chances of retiring early. And certain debts like credit card debt, auto loans, personal loans, and even student loans would kind of hold you back from being able to retire early. So people who usually are on FIRE journey, they're making paying off their debt a priority so that they can focus on the more important things in life. And again, no matter how little your money is, you have to make investing a priority. Now, everyone that is on the financial independence route, they all have FIRE numbers, and that FIRE number is individually tailored to you. Now, the goal of that number is to maintain your current lifestyle at retirement age. And some of the ways that people can increase their income is by starting a side hustle, selling unwanted personal items, getting an extra job, or even starting a small business. And also, the best way to prioritize your investments is to maximize your 401k, or if you have a Roth IRA. You want to make sure that you are taking advantage of your tax advantage accounts, which is going to help reduce your total taxable income. You can also prioritize your investing through stocks, through bonds, and through mutual funds. And if you don't know what stocks, bonds, or mutual funds are, I did do a video, so make sure you go ahead and check out my my other investing videos. You may be asking, well, how is your FIRE number calculated? So to calculate your FIRE number, you're going to definitely want to need to know what your monthly expenses are. You're going to take those monthly expenses and multiply it by 12 to get your annual expense. For example, if you had a monthly expense of $3,000, then that meant that your annual expense would be $36,000. Once you figure out your annual expense, then you're going to calculate your withdrawal rate. Now, your withdrawal rate, as the name implies, is the amount of money you can withdraw. It's a percentage of your savings that you can withdraw without running out of money at retirement. Now, the withdrawal rate was actually discovered through a study called the Trinity Study. Now, through this study, they looked at a bunch of retirees and their investment portfolio. And what they found out was that a safe withdrawal rate was around the 4% range. And with the 4% withdrawal rate, that gave the retirees around a 98% chance of not running out of money within 30 years in retirement. So think of the 4% rule as your total retirement savings or your nest egg. All of the money you're ever going to need in your lifetime. So in essence, the total amount of money you're actually going to need at retirement is actually going to be 25 times your annual expense. And that's also the 4% rule. So with the previous example, your FIRE number is literally your annual expense times 25. So for the person that had a $3,000 monthly or $36,000 annual, when you multiply that times 25, you get $900,000. Now, for that person, they would need $900,000 in their investment portfolio. And that is the amount of money they would need to be able to retire for the next 30 years without running out of money. So essentially, if you had $900,000 in your investment portfolio and 4% of that being $36,000, so that meant that you could withdraw $36,000 every single year and you wouldn't run out of money for the next 30 years. Now, your annual expense can change if life happens. And if life happens, all it means is that now you have a different FIRE number. So if you anticipate that you're going to be spending more money than what you're currently spending, then you would have a higher FIRE number. If you anticipate you're going to be spending less because maybe you've paid off all of your loans, maybe you've paid off your house, then your FIRE number would be significantly less. Now, there are different types of FIREs out there that aligns with the different types of lifestyles and portfolios. Now that I've shared the concept of the FIRE movement, it pretty much shows that anybody is able to retire early. And in order to retire early, you just need to know your FIRE number and you just need to have enough money saved in your retirement account. Now, if you're someone that's considering joining the FIRE movement, you certainly have to ask yourself some questions. Now, a reason why some people pursue the FIRE movement is because some people, they just want to retire before age 65. They don't want to work for 40 years of their life and feel like they've worked more than half of their life. Some people, they just want to be able to have more time to spend with their family or friends. Others, they just want to have time to pursue their passion. And for some, they just want to have the time to start a business. Now, these are all different reasons why people would want to start the FIRE movement. Whatever the reason is for you starting the FIRE movement or even considering it, you do have to consider that the FIRE movement is going to require a lot of self-discipline. It's going to require one to maintain a strict budget and to have a sizable portfolio. So you definitely need to have more than enough of your income in your portfolio to be able to retire for the next 30 years. And just remember, guys, your financial habits today will ultimately determine the future lifestyle that you have. So if you know that you want to enjoy retirement age, then you have to be intentional about saving and investing your money. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys learned something about the FIRE movement. If you didn't know the FIRE movement now, let me know in the comment section that you learned something. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, go and check it out. I have a video on investing if you want to learn more about investing. And I will see you in the next one.